Now.
Now, right now.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could all rise for our pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Clerk. Could you please call the roll?
Trustee Khan?
Here.
Trustee Minks?
Here.
Trustee Sheba?
Here.
Trustee Thill?
Here.
Trustee Travis?
Here.
Trustee Whitko?
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. I need approval of our minutes from our regular meeting of June 11th, 2024, and our special meeting minutes from May 29th, 2024.
I'll make the motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of June 11th, 2024, and the special meeting minutes of May 29th, 2024.
Second that.
Okay, motion is made by Trustee Mink, seconded by Trustee Khan to accept the regular meeting minutes of June 11th, 2024, as well as the special meeting minutes from May 29th, 2024. Any corrections, clarifications, or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you very much. Special reports, we have a promotion to our police department tonight of Detective Mike Johansson to Sergeant. I'm going to call up Michael Simpkins, our Police and Fire Commission Chair.
Thanks,
Michael?
Mayor. And if you want to join us, and Connie, as our liaison, Chief Simo, if you want to come up, and Mike, if you wouldn't mind coming on up, please, and please invite whoever you'd like to join you, family. Looks like the baby's not behaving.
He's a little loud.
You don't want to bring him up here?
No.
Mike Johansson, why don't you introduce who you have with you, please, here tonight?
This is my wife, Clara. My parents are back there. My brother and his family are back there. My in-laws, the crying baby is mine. He's just very excited, and we're about 40 minutes past bedtime.
Well, welcome.
Borrowed time.
We're going to be promoting Mike to sergeant. Let me share a little bit about Michael with you. In 2008, Michael graduated Carroll University with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Michael then began his career with the Morton Grove Police Department in September of 2009. After graduating the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy, he worked in the Patrol Division, and then in October of 2014, he was selected to join the Investigations Division as detective. While in investigations, Michael not only served the village of Morton Grove, but as a task force officer, assisted nearby towns and the Illinois State Police. In 2018, he became an inspector for the Illinois State Police Ruse Burglary Task Force. He was also on the North Regional Burglary Task Force, where he excelled, and in 2019 was promoted to the rank of team leader. Mike, I'm going to ask that you step forward. If you wouldn't mind, please raising your right hand and repeating after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Johansson,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the rules, regulations, and ordinances of the Village of Morton Grove,
the rules, regulations, and ordinances of the Village of Morton Grove,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Police Sergeant of the Village of Morton Grove
of the Office of Police Sergeant of the Village of Morton Grove
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
And does somebody have your badge?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and then that would conclude my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Simpkins. Public hearings, there are none. Plan Commission reports, there are none. Residents' comments, this would be on agenda items only. Residents' comments, agenda items only. Hearing none. President's report, just a few things of business I wanted to mention tonight. Obviously, we have Morton Grove Days coming up. That will be from July 3rd, Wednesday, through Saturday, July 6th. It's almost time to celebrate our great community and country at Morton Grove Days. We all know Morton Grove Days is a celebration of our country and community spirit. The event will feature live music. I think Mr. Simpkins' band's actually playing there. Carnival, parade, fireworks, beer garden, food, and loads of family entertainment. Come celebrate your 4th of July with us at Morton Grove Days. Look for more information on our village website and in the village newsletter. Additionally, by visiting the event website at mortongrovedays.org, you will find the event schedule and other useful event information, as well as money-saving carnival, mega band information. We always get a lot of calls on the mega band. So also new this year, on Saturday, July 6th, from 10 to 4, there will be a Morton Grove Days market. Again, it's right around the corner. Obviously, we've been saying this for a few months now, but we do need volunteers. We need your support, and we'll be as flexible as possible and do all that we can to meet your needs and your schedule so that you can volunteer. Any amount of time you're willing to commit is welcome. I see the Manos, I see Cindy Kopchak, I see a bunch of faces here that are there year in and year out volunteering, but unfortunately they can't be there every night, so we need more people. So please, please, please try to volunteer if you can, if it's for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. We really would appreciate that. 2024 National Night Out will be Tuesday, August 6th from 5:30 to 8:30. The event grows every year. I want to thank our Morton Grove Police Department, who just exited, for making this such a great event. They host it. It's free. It enhances the relationships between residents and law enforcement while fostering a greater sense of community, which is needed now more than ever. Family-friendly activities, entertainment, and refreshments will be available. You can always stay up to date with all village events if you sign up for our e-news and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and the social media pages. Other than that, I have no formal report. Clerk's report.
No report, Your Honor.
Staff report, village administrator. For the last time, I'm going to ask you, Ralph, do you have any report?
Unfortunately, we do not. Staff report is nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Corporate and council. Thank you. Reports by trustees. Trustee Khan.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have a second reading for ordinance 24-10 that was introduced on June 11, 2024. This ordinance authorizes the transfer of revenue from Lehigh Ferris TIF District to Lincoln Lehigh TIF District. The Tax Increment Allocation Redevelopment Act allows the village to transfer funds from one TIF district to a contiguous TIF district. This ordinance will authorize the transfer of $2,750,000 from the Lehigh Ferris TIF to the Lincoln Lehigh TIF. The funds will be used to further redevelopment projects within the Lincoln Lehigh TIF district. I hereby make a motion to approve ordinance 24-10 as presented.
Second.
Ooh, stereo. Motion's been made by trustee Khan, seconded by trustee Whitko. Sorry, Rita, it was close, but my left ear is better than my right.
I have one like that, too.
Motion made by trustee Khan, seconded by trustee Whitko. Any discussions, questions, clarifications? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Khan.
Aye.
Trustee Minks.
Aye.
Trustee Sheba. Aye. Trustee Thill.
Aye.
Trustee Travis.
Aye.
Trustee Whitko.
Aye.
Ordinance 24-10 passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Any other business, trustee Khan?
No other business, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Minks?
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Sheba? No report. Thank you. Trustee Thill?
No report.
Trustee Travis?
No report, thank you.
Trustee Whitko?
No report, thanks.
Presentations of warrants in the amount of $348,012.20 by trustee Khan.
Make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
Motion made by trustee Khan, seconded by trustee Sheba, for the acceptance of the presentations of the warrants in the amount of $348,012.20. Any questions, clarifications, comments? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Minks.
Aye.
Trustee Sheba. Aye. Trustee Thill.
Aye.
Trustee Travis.
Aye.
Trustee Whitko.
Aye.
Trustee Khan.
Aye.
The June 25th, 2024 warrants pass as presented, 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Under other business tonight, we do have, I do have a little bit of other business, actually a lot of other business. We are going to do a little other business to give a tribute to. That's my job. Why are you doing that? Michelle, I honest to God was wondering, where are the Sherwinskys? I didn't realize you were coming out like that. That was fantastic. So we're going to do a tribute to Ralph tonight. Obviously, this is his last village board meeting. He'll be working with us until June 30th. But there's so many people that wanted to say something. And I do want to note that there's been a couple events where they've tributed Ralph. I unfortunately had a few family events I couldn't be at either one, so I'm going to talk later about my feelings about Ralph. But tonight, we have a lot of people here, Ralph, that want to say some kind words. So I'm going to just go down the list, and hopefully you sit back and enjoy it. So first one up I'm going to call is my dear friend Habib Quadri. If you want to come up, Habib. And Mazur as well.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, on behalf of the Muslim Community Center, which represents not just Morton Grove, Skokie, all of north of Chicago, from Irving Park all the way up to Glenview, we want to thank first the village for giving us an opportunity to come and say a few words. So before I get to the man of the hour, just want to say thank you, Village, for coming to our Food and Fun Fair. Thank you to the Public Works, the Fire Department, and the Police Department to having interactions with our community. To really appreciate that. But for the man of the hour. So here's an individual I've got to know for 20 years, and he's still, as I got more white hair and I became bald, he still has his hair, and he didn't grow a beard. Right. But there are three things that I've learned from this individual, and that's what I want to kind of share. The first and foremost, Mr. Ralph Sawinski, I want to thank you that you're always open to discussion. Even when Muzzer calls you on Saturday at 7 o'clock. We apologize, Mr. Sawinski. We will not make sure the new individual, if he's here, I will make sure he doesn't call. Number two, when we had discussions, some people just have to say, I did the check, I kind of had a conversation. Number two, that you're open to finding solutions to our situation. So I really want to thank you for that. And the last thing is, when you first came here, we knew that we went through a lot of tough times, and now it's just become a strong community together. One of the things I admire about you is that you decided to make decisions what is not the most popular, but what is the right thing to do. And I really appreciate the friendship and the partnership that you've had with our community. And we want to thank you, and I ask that God protect you, guide you, and bless you and your family. Thank you so much. So I wanted to, on behalf of the MCC community, and I have to bring the boss lady of our community, the vice president of our organization. So Dr. Khan, if you could come on up. We're going to go ahead and give this plaque on behalf of the Muslim Community Center, recognizes Ralph Sherwinski, in grateful appreciation for your ongoing support and relationship with the Muslim community of Morton Grove. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't know he was here too. Sorry, the president's here too. They all came in. So you guys might want to give that. So,
That's very kind of you. Oh, appreciate everything you've
I'm a
done.
hugger. Someone give you a hug. All right. All right, take care.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
All right. And this is a plaque.
Fabulous.
Where do you want to go?
Thank you.
Wait 1 second. Another picture.
Oh,
20 more.
thank you. It's a real pleasure working with you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. It's an honor working with you, sir.
No, he's initially.
We've had some good times.
Absolutely watching on TV right now.
That's fabulous.
We're just getting started.
Thank you, guys. Next up, we have the Morton Grove Chamber of Commerce, and that will be presented by Debbie Mano.
Ralph, I know you're going to hear a lot of this tonight, so it's going to be repetitious, but it's something you deserve. And on behalf of the Morton Grove Chamber of Commerce, past president, current director, I want to award you with this certificate of honor. And I'm just going to read it because the words are sentimental for you. Ralph Zerwinski in recognition of his exemplary service to the people and government of Morton Grove upon his retirement as the village administrator for the Morton Grove and his previous service as a fire chief of Morton Grove. On behalf of the Morton Grove Chamber of Commerce members, officers, directors, and staff, we also wholeheartedly thank you for all your years of service to the business community of Morton Grove. We wish you well, and we hope you will rest and spend time with your family. She's shaking her head. Your retirement is precious to you and your family. You've worked hard for it, and you really deserve it. We want to thank you, as well as the village trustees, the mayor, for all the friendship and just the hard work that you have done for the community as well.
Yeah, you guys become twins.
You guys just stand right there.
Thank you, Debbie. So next, under other business, by the way, Ralph didn't see this agenda. We were by the way, it was all posted properly. Ralph just didn't see it, which was great. We are going to do a few acknowledgments from your fellow village staff. So I'd like to call the village staff if they'd like to come up along by the podium there to say there's accolades for Ralph. You know, the only thing
Sure they're gonna be accolades?
I'm pretty sure. So we'd like to take a few minutes, obviously here to keep honoring Ralph Serwinski's outstanding service to the village of Morton Grove community and the legacy of hard work and commitment he leaves behind. Ralph, this is all this, what do you want here? Oh, down? Oh, down. Oh, down, there we go. So Ralph, this is your colleagues that all want to say a few words. I just want to say just quickly as part of being on the staff with Ralph, a mayor, a board, an organization is only as good as the people they surround themselves with or hire. Ralph has led this village, and I have more to say later, and staff to so many successes. I mean, to name a few, everybody knows it, they say it. Sawmill Station, my vision, Ralph got it done. Moretti's, Ralph got it done. Morton Grove Niles Water Commission. I was so fun to tell Rahm Emanuel to stick it. Ralph got it done. He has made my job easy, always makes me look good, and I can't imagine having any or all of the successes that we've had as a village board for the last 11 and a half years and the past decade of service that he's given amongst many other years that he's given our village without him as my right-hand man. But I'll talk more about that later. So that being said, I want to turn it over to your fellow colleagues, Ralph, and have them each give a little bit of a thank you to you because we couldn't be here without you. First up will be Ralph. Obvious. Oh, you guys lined up very nice.
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, for those of you that may not have met me yet, my name is Ralph Ensign. I'm the fire chief in Morton Grove, and that's the other Ralph. That name is very unusual. We don't meet too many Ralphs, so thank you, Ralph, for bringing me on board to Morton Grove. Just a little bit of a history lesson here. Ralph started his career in 1975 as a firefighter here in Morton Grove. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming fire chief in 1990. And for the next 13 years, he transformed the department into the professional, well-trained, service-oriented organization it remains today. Ralph was instrumental in creating the Northern Illinois Public Safety Training Academy, also known as NIPSTA, developing the Regional and Emergency Dispatch Center, which is also known as Red Center, who dispatches for us today, and leading the Mutual Aid Box Alarm Association, Mavis Division 3. He directed the remodeling of Fire Station 4, and I picked up those plans that you gave me today, so thank you, and solidified his reputation of being a strategic, innovative, caring, and hands-on leader, always guided by the core values of the Morton Grove Fire Department: adaptability, competence, and vision. Thank you, Ralph.
Mike Simo from the Police Department. To me, Ralph's a great village administrator because as a retired fire chief, he understands public safety from all sides. We kid each other as cops and firemen do, but it's always based on mutual respect, and I always knew that he would get us what we need. He undertook several projects that greatly benefited the police department, and some were quite a departure from the traditional way of doing things here. Ralph listened to our ideas and funding plans and trusted our judgment that they were the best things for the police department. He was able to balance the costs of doing business with thoughtful and cautious use of the village budget. I always felt like he was a partner rather than the boss, and I appreciate that relationship very much during the time we worked together. So my philosophy is don't be sorry it's over, be glad it happened. I'm very glad it happened. I hope you are too. Thanks, Ralph.
Good evening. For those who have not met me, I'm Mike Lucas, Director of Public Works, and I'm here on behalf of our wonderful Public Works Department. During Ralph's 9 years as the village administrator, Ralph was a key component to the Department of Public Works maintaining its outstanding reputation for public service. Working with 3 separate directors during his tenure, Ralph ensured the department's residents' focus and can-do approach to snow plowing, street maintenance, tree trimming, water service remained the pride of the community. Ralph's mission-focused leadership style was key to the department's success. We couldn't have done it without you, Ralph. You've provided valuable support for transitioning the village's water supply, which was mentioned earlier, from the city of Chicago to the village of Evanston. You assisted in constructing and made sure the Oakton Street multi-use path was successfully completed. You witnessed the reconstruction and resurfacing of numerous streets and underground utilities throughout the village, while also improving the public works facilities and upgrading our equipment. You've also fostered the village's sustainability efforts and all the other numerous initiatives that continuously improve the village of Morton Grove. Ralph, on behalf of the Department of Public Works, many thanks for a job well done. We will miss you. Thank you.
Zoe Hydorn, Assistant Village Administrator. If I say anything else, I'll start to cry. Immediately upon becoming village administrator, Ralph initiated the village's efforts to stabilize its water rates, which had skyrocketed over the past decade. He worked with Niles to evaluate alternative suppliers before choosing Evanston and spearheading efforts to negotiate a long-term water purchase agreement between Evanston, Morton Grove, and Niles. He was instrumental in forming the purchase agreement between Evanston, Morton Grove, and Niles. He was instrumental in forming the Morton Grove Niles Water Commission and establishing an intergovernmental operating agreement for the commission. The MGNWC then engaged engineers to develop plans to construct a supply system to transport the water from Evanston to Morton Grove. Ralph led efforts to route the system through streets in Morton Grove, purchasing land and constructing a booster station and state-of-the-art reservoir. The $100 million project included the reconstruction of miles of obsolete Morton Grove streets and was financed with low-rate EPA financing and long-term bonds without raising water rates. The savings to Morton Grove and Niles from the project are estimated to be over $240 million over the next 50 years. Decades ago, Morton Grove was known for its restaurant, but by 2000, many of the popular restaurants had closed, causing residents to clamor for new dining opportunities. During his term as village administrator, Ralph prioritized the village's efforts to attract new restaurants and assist existing Morton Grove restaurants to stay open, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. These efforts resulted in the opening of popular restaurants like Moretti's, Cooper's Hawk, Tava, and Boba Burger, facilitated the reopening of nationally known Bert's Place, and supported the retention of popular restaurants including Pequod's, Cappy's, and Giordano's, and the Bringer Inn. Thank you, Ralph.
Good evening. I'm Brandon Ullin, Community Development Administrator. I'm the new Zoe, I think is what everyone calls me. But I've only been here since January, but it took about 30 minutes to realize just a fraction of the impact you've had here, Ralph. So it's impressive and really inspirational for me as a kind of a newbie here to see what you've done. During your tenure, Ralph has served as lead negotiator and spokesman spokesman for the village's efforts to attract and retain quality businesses that provide desired products and services for residents and visitors, as well as needed property and sales taxes. Ralph managed the highly successful Lehigh-Ferris TIF district, which is expected to add $1 million per year in tax revenue for local public schools, as well as Sawmill Station TIF district and Lincoln Lehigh TIF districts, which will both have short and long-term positive impacts on the village. He streamlined permit processes and updated building and development codes, improving construction standards and making it easier to do business in the village. Ralph's fiscal responsibility and economic development initiatives helped increase sales tax revenues and equalize assessed value while improving the village's overall financial health. And I'd just like to add that, while our time has been very short, you've already taught me a few valuable lessons here, and really I'm envious of all those who got to spend more time with you at Village Hall. So thank you very much.
Good evening. For years, the 26-acre shopping center at the southeast corner of Dempster and Waukegan sat in decay. The Canadian owner had decided that it was financially advantageous to not invest in the center and filled it with subpar tenants. After unsuccessfully trying to negotiate a redevelopment agreement with the owner, Ralph implemented a strategy of issuing citations for all the non-compliant conditions, forcing the owner to sell to a new developer. Today, as a result of Ralph's efforts, the new Sawmill Station is a popular destination for residents and visitors for luxury apartments, an Amazon Fresh grocery store, modern fitness center, clothing stores, service facilities, and restaurants. And Ralph, from the building department and myself, thank you so much for the last 8 years.
I'm Hannah Sullivan, the Finance Director. Ralph has improved the financial position of the village by implementing a number of measures. Through economic development, he increased revenues while controlling expenses, which increased village reserves. He increased funding for village pensions and paid down village debt. Also, through his redevelopment efforts, he increased the village's equalized assessed value by 65%, from $696 million to $1.06 billion. All of these measures also stabilize the village's bond rating, which will put the village in the best position to facilitate future financing for a much-needed village hall and police station. Ralph revamped the budget process and budget document to be more user-friendly. He has secured multiple grant awards for capital improvements. He transitioned the village's private pension system to IMRF, which will save the village money long-term while making it easier to attract qualified municipal employees. He has positioned the village to face future challenges. Ralph, thank you. Thank you for your guidance and your support for the last 8 years, and I'm really going to miss collaborating and problem-solving with you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Friel. I'm the assistant to the village administrator. I've known this individual for 39 years. I had the privilege of having him as my first lieutenant, Lieutenant Serwinski, when he had a full head of hair, a really kicking mustache, right out of the 70s. And 50% of the people in that front row were still in diapers. But to continue on with our, I might be off a little on my math. Coronavirus disease was implicated in almost 7 million deaths worldwide in 2020 through 2023, 60 of which occurred in Morton Grove. Ralph's leadership skills went into overdrive during this period. His priorities included ensuring first responders had adequate personal protective equipment, safeguarding employee health, providing paid furlough and work-at-home options for some employees, and promoting enforcement of social distancing guidelines. Ralph worked tirelessly to provide current comprehensive information to residents and businesses. He implemented a creative new policies to allow outdoor seating so that local restaurants could stay open and safely serve the public. Having said that, well done, Schmo. Thank you.
I'm Boyle Wong, Technology and Communications. Ralph was instrumental in completing the 2015 strategic plan and 2023 update, and developing the village's logo and tagline, incredibly close, amazingly open. In response to resident surveys, Ralph initiated a variety of community events and activities, including neighborhood outreach meetings, the Adopt a Planter program, the Community Garage Sale, Community Cleanup Day, and the Sustainability Expo. Ralph also took the lead role in continuing and expanding traditional events, including Morton Grove Days and Santa Comes to Town. He improved resident communication through reverse 911 calls, enhanced newsletters and periodic informational postcards, updated the village's website, expanded e-news and social media presence, and developed a comprehensive resident handbook. Now, if you allow me to go off script for a moment, just an anecdote about Ralph and the village logo. We were in a department head meeting, and we were talking about the logo, and for whatever reason, Ralph said that any request that came to him using the wrong logo on that letterhead, he'd automatically deny it. Of course, it seemed a little fussy at the time, but I think it showed that he recognized that perception matters, and quality matters, and consistency matters, in small things and in large things. And that, what a great thing that is.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Terry Liston. I'm the Corporation Counsel for the Village of Morton Grove. Ralph's public service extended well beyond his professional achievements. After 9/11, he organized the Lest We Forget fundraiser to support the families of fallen first responders. After Hurricane Katrina, he spearheaded a community-wide effort getting all different organizations throughout the community together to hold a fundraiser to support the town of Slidell, Louisiana. He's been honored by the Chamber of Commerce as its VIP. He has served as the treasurer of the Illinois Fire Safety Alliance. He has served on the board of directors of the United Way of Skokie Valley. He has served as the president of the Rotary Club of Skokie Valley. He volunteered countless hours on the board of the Morton Grove Foundation, including acting as its chairperson, running the Queen of Hearts raffle, and serving as the chairperson of the second most successful taste in the village's history. Go. Click. Oh, there you go. The work of a vibrant community like ours is never-ending, but Ralph leaves the village of Morton Grove positioned for more success. He has laid the groundwork to ensure the village's financial health. He's mentored and supported the next generation of community leaders. He completed architectural plans for the new metro station and adjacent Gateway Plaza, which will be built within the next year. He negotiated contracts for the purchase of the Fifth Third Bank property, an underutilized property which can and should be turned into a repurposed village hall and police station. Most importantly, he's instilled a sense of community and pride throughout the village. He's led by example. He's challenged all of us to be better. He's melded us, all different personalities, all different talents, into a winning team. And under the direction of the mayor and the board of trustees, and with Ralph's leadership, this team has accomplished success for this village, which will be felt by an improved the lives of our residents for generations to come. For this and so much more, we are grateful. Now I'd ask the mayor to come down here. Ralph, this presentation actually has been turned into a keepsake book for you. And on behalf of the Village of Morton Grove, our staff, our board, our residents, we'd like to present it to you.
You'll see it, Ralph. No peeking, no peeking.
I'll bring it to you. So just for the people here tonight, Ralph hasn't seen this yet, but it's actually a bound book, and it says what gets measured gets accomplished, which if you know Ralph, that's one of his favorite things to say. And this is a tribute to you, Ralph, from the Village of Morton Grove. We got all kinds of things for him to remember us here, because we don't want you to forget us. So, Michelle, put this out on the table when you're having company. Right, please. Great coffee table book. So, Ralph, on behalf of the board. Where's Michael? Michael, we got more gifts. Sure.
Terry's that good enough, the lights?
Do you want the trustees?
No.
Here. Okay, get close. Scooch? Okay, we got Scooch. Hold on.
Ralph, don't sit down yet. There's more. Come on over here, and we got something else to present you here. So,
You got a lot of metal here.
this might be the longest street sign in Morton Grove history. It's pretty long. Ralph, this is just a token, again, nothing we can say or do is going to show you our gratitude or our appreciation. But we want you to know that these signs, Mike tomorrow will be advising his staff to put this up at the corner of Capuline and School and one at Capuline and Austin so that everybody's reminded of your service to this great village that you've done. And again, congratulations on having the longest street sign in Morton Grove. That's 2 honors tonight for you. So in the record books, you're there, buddy, for many reasons. So whenever your family's driving by, be very proud that your dad's got the street now named after him right around this village hall. So thank you. I'll talk to you after July. Thank you, Ralph.
No.
No.
We're not even close, Ralph. Ralph, this is not one of those meetings that I tell you I'd get you out of here by 7:38. It ain't happening. Now we have some remarks, of course, from the village board. So we'll just go right down the line. We'll start out with Trustee Khan.
Thank you. Dear Ralph, I wrote a note for you here, so I'm just going to read out from there because I didn't want to lose any thoughts and miss anything that I want to tell you. Ralph, as you step into the retirement, we want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude for your many years of dedicated service and contributions to the village of Morton Grove. Your commitment, hard work, and unwavering dedication have been truly very inspiring. Over the years, you have not only achieved remarkable milestones, but also set a high standard of excellence and integrity. Good luck to Chuck Mayer. You raised the bar for him. Your presence has made a lasting impact, and you will be greatly missed by all of us. As you embark on this new journey, we wish you health, happiness, and fulfillment in all your future endeavors. Congratulations on the longest street name that we got now, after you, and on your retirement. And thank you once again for everything you have done for the village of Morton Grove and every soul that you've touched during your career here. Thank you so much, Ralph.
Trustee Minks?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've known you, Ralph, for almost 20 years. You've been an advisor, a mentor, a colleague, a co-worker, and above all, a friend. Your can-do attitude is something that I learned and carried with me through all my years of service in the villages that I have worked for and served as a trustee. You are compassionate, ready to lend a helping hand, and to jump in and problem solve wherever you're needed. I've never seen you with less than a dozen things happening at once. I wish you and Michelle a long, fun-filled retirement doing all the things you never had time to do when you were working. Thanks for being there for myself, our employees, and our residents. You are one heck of a guy, and we will miss you. Thank you.
Trustee Sheba?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been here the least. Oh my God, I've learned a lot. And your friendship and your mentorship has meant everything to me. Being able to just come upstairs and just walk into your office with stacks of paperwork everywhere and your phone is ringing and you just brush it aside, you sit back in your chair and you say, how can I help you today? You give me 10 minutes, you give me 20 minutes, however long I need, and you've always done that for me. One day, if I am half as successful as you are, it would be a life well spent. I am truly honored to have worked with you, but I am more proud to have had you as my mentor. And we can never forget you. And we hope that you come around more often, if the family allows. If the family allows. Thank you so much, Ralph, for everything, and I hope we can stay in touch. Thank you.
Terry?
Ralph, almost 30 years ago, I met you. I was sitting right here. You were sitting right there. And everyone in the room was talking about how wonderful you are. Oh, Ralph, what a great design for a new fire station. Oh, Ralph, what would we do without you? Oh, Ralph, you're so wonderful. So I thought to myself, how are you going to ruin this? And I think I did, actually.
You ticked me off, I can tell you that.
And 30 years later, here we are. And tonight is not a night for me to do anything other than show respect, show regard, and thank you. And I sit there, 30 years of being involved with you through the village, and I sit there and I go, I don't really know what it's going to be like. God knows every document I ever submitted, you've got to change it. Every suggestion I ever have, you take some of them, but you build on them. It's always, how do we be better? How do we be better? How do we be better? And I sit there and I go, what's it going to be like when you're gone? And then I remember one of your pet sayings. And those of you that have worked with Ralph over the years know it. And it is, if you take your hand out of a bucket of water, the water fills in. And I don't totally believe that, but I did a little research on that. And it turns out that that's actually, you didn't invent that, so sorry, no. It's actually a relatively famous poem.
Can we check on it?
I did. I did. And it is something that great but humble leaders hold true. So much so that another great leader, General and President Dwight D. Eisenhower, kept that in his pocket. And on the 20th anniversary of D-Day, read it to the crowds that wanted to exalt him as a god. And so I thought that of all my comments, I wanted to share that with you now for a couple of reasons. I don't think you need any lessons in humility, but I think all of us need to know that because of you, we have what it takes to be successful. Because of you, we have what it takes to move this village forward. And you should know that you've done a good job and that, you know, you're entitled and you deserve this retirement, and we all want you to have it. So I'm going to read the poem, and then I'm going to be quiet. Sometimes when you're feeling important, sometimes when your ego's in bloom, sometimes when you take it for granted you're the best qualified in the room, sometimes you feel that your going will leave an unfillable hole. Just follow these simple instructions and see how they humble the soul. Take a bucket and fill it with water. Put your hand in it up to the wrist. Pull it out, and the hole that's remaining is a measure of how you'll be missed. You can splash all you wish when you enter. You may stir up the water galore, but stop and you'll find that in time, it looks quite the same as before. The moral of this quaint example is just do the best you can. Be proud of yourself, but remember, there is no indispensable man. I question that sometimes, but truth is the truth. Thank you.
Trustee Phil.
Wow, how do I follow that? Ralph, we've raised your family probably as much as you've raised this village. And I can see all the kids here. I call your children kids because they are. They look great. I met them the other night, and I was amazed, as I'm amazed at you as a man. So I wrote a few things down. If you give me a minute, and don't start the clock yet.
That was clock.
Ralph, we are all familiar with the major accomplishments that have come to fruition under your tenure as our village manager. You could have been a CEO of a major 500 company. Some of the areas that were not mentioned are the dream team that you have assembled and guided for the last 9 years. Mike Simo, Ralph Ensign, Mike Lukic, Tom Friel, Hannah Sullivan, Boyle Wong, Terry Liston, Jim English, Zoe Heidendorf, Brandon Nolan, and Saba Cohen. Plus 73 people in the police department, 46 people in the fire department, 54 people in the public works department, 20 people in the village hall. That's approximately 193 people that you were the CEO of for the last 9 years. Your model of gathering information, listening to all sides, consulting with your staff to arrive at a solution, was an uncanny road to success. Other people should follow this example. When COVID hit, the township bank had to close. It could not operate. Bonnie reached out to the area village managers. You were the one that came up with a solution to keep it open. The other night at your retirement affair, I had a conversation with a man that had worked with Hannah in the finance department at Winnetka, and he told me that he had learned a lot about financing from you. Many days you were the one turning on the lights in the office in the morning and also turning them off at night. Your commitment to the village and to the residents is unmatched. The village's finances were in trouble, but you and Hannah righted that ship and got our bond raising raised several times. The relationship that we had with other governing bodies within the village were strained when you came on board. Not only has that improved, but we are working together. Schools are complaining that our village is too successful. The enrollment is going up. The best thing that our mayor has ever done is to bring you on board. Dan is a good salesman, there's no doubt about it. But it was you who took the reins and turned his ideas into reality. I used to tell everyone that they could not find Morton Grove on a map, and this was true. You would find all the surrounding communities, but you would not find Morton Grove. You have put us on the map. You always deflected compliments that you are given. The staff is on, the staff and the board, your comments were always, "Oh, please, come on." I don't think you realize how often you said that to me. I want to thank your wife and your family for their patience and sharing you with us for all these years. You are still young enough and healthy enough, so enjoy your retirement, and I cannot see you sitting still. Thursday night, I said, this is a true story. Thursday night, I said to Marion, Ralph let me down on one thing. I said something to you 9 years ago, and you said to me, that's something that'll get taken care of. We got a lot of other things to be taken care of first. Lo and behold, the next day, I get the village newsletter. And in there, there's a little article that says we should be putting our addresses on the front of our houses so our emergency vehicles can find you soon enough. It could save a life. It took you 9 years, but I bet you didn't even bring this up. I will bet you that the staff pulled it out of your head. But I really do appreciate that. Okay, I think I pretty much covered what I wanted to say. I have one more thing. I want you all to join me in a song. So here we go. He's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, and nobody can deny, nobody can deny, nobody can deny. He's a jolly good fellow, and nobody can deny. Thank you, Ralph.
Well, I promise I won't sing, okay?
You didn't.
You really didn't. So Ralph, my appreciation for you is endless. Your immense patience, willingness to listen, understand, and ability to problem solve has been a model of leadership. Thank you for your constant communication. It has truly helped me to have the information necessary to make informed decisions in my role as trustee. Your hard work and dedication have been evident in everything you do, always putting the village first. Your deep knowledge of our community has guided us through any challenges we may have faced and made way for so many successes, improvements, and accomplishments. Your contributions throughout the village have made a lasting impact, and for that I am profoundly grateful. As a lifelong resident, I couldn't be prouder of Morton Grove today, thanks in part to your time as village administrator. I'm thankful that your family shared you with us, and I'm so happy you will now be able to spend time with your family. Best wishes in your retirement, and thank you for everything you've done for us.
Trustee
Thank
Whitco.
you. I love being last. It's so easy. I want to express my deepest gratitude for your years of dedicated service to our village. As a trustee, I've had the privilege of working closely with you in your administrator role, and I must say that your guidance and support have made my role significantly easier. What I appreciate most about you is not just your willingness to answer my questions, but your patient effort to ensure I truly understood the complexities of each issue we faced. Your ability to teach goes beyond simply providing information. You imparted a deeper understanding that has been invaluable to me. Your leadership has left an indelible mark on our village, and your absence will surely be felt. You have my utmost respect and gratitude, and I thank you once again for everything you've done for our community. Enjoy your retirement.
Eileen, you're up.
Ralph, what can I say? For years, you've tirelessly served our village, always doing what was right for our community. You've worn many hats, both as the fire chief and twice as our village administrator. Your leadership and dedication have left an indelible mark on our village. Personally, you guided me as the role of village clerk with wisdom and patience. But what stands out the most for me is the kindness and compassion and sincere friendship that you showed my dad his last final years as mayor, and that will never be forgotten. As you embark on this new chapter of your life, I hope your retirement is filled with relaxation, enjoyment, discovery, and special moments with the people who mean the most to you. Your presence in the village will be dearly missed, but your legacy will continue to inspire all of us. Congratulations.
brought it up. I was good until you said you're going to cry. And by the way, it's the first time in my life I've ever heard Terry quiver in her voice. Good job. You quivered. Did she quiver? Round of applause
Yes.
if Terry quivered. Well, Ralph, obviously I agree with everything that's been said, but you and me and Terry, we have a special relationship, the three of us. So all the successes you see here, like I mentioned earlier, come from Ralph getting it done. I remember when I ran for mayor, I had big dreams for Morton Grove, and I had crazy dreams. And I came to the village hall and kind of assessed things for the first couple months, and I said, I need somebody that's going to get these dreams fulfilled and execute what I need done. That's the only way that I and the village board is going to be successful. And there was nobody else that came to mind but one person, Ralph. I knew he knew the village. I knew he knew how to run departments, at the fire department, of course, but I knew he had experience here. He was the perfect fit for my administration and the boards that have been here for the last 11 years. You know, if a lot of things come up, you don't realize it at the time. You know, you think you're going to do something, and COVID pops, or Highland Park pops on the 4th of July, and you got to make quick decisions. And there was nobody to make my job easier during those toughest times of my administration than to call Ralph and get a game plan. And of course, Ralph always knew how to execute it and knew what we needed to do to make sure the village was functioning safely and we can continue on with our day-to-day lives without as much impact as it could have been. These things are real, and he helped me get through those. Anything we need as a board, they've all said it. I'm not going to waste time with that. You need it to get done. Ralph's going to get it done. Call Ralph. You know, Ralph is very detailed. He's a dot the I, cross the T guy. I'm not. I think everybody knows that I'm not. So to have that balance is what worked for us. And meeting with Terry, same thing with the three of us. There was times the three of us were not on the same page. But we always found a way to get to the same page, and it was always the goal and the mission was the commonality between us, and we would get it done. A little bit of Ralph, a little bit of Terry, a little bit of me, but Ralph then had to be the person that would execute it, and you did time and time again, Ralph, and it was great. A football analogy, if you were in the NFL, you'd be three things. You'd be the GM, you'd be the coach, and you'd be the punter, because you know how to punt. We got to punt. What are we going to do? Ralph kicked it inside the 5-yard line every time. So, Ralph, I can't thank you enough for that. As John mentioned, you know, the hours and hours that you were here, just if it had to be done, you got it done. Michelle, your family, thank you for letting them be here for us to get it done, because I know what that's like to be gone, and it's a sacrifice for you. So I think we also need a round of applause for Ralph's family for letting them do this. One of the things, too, that I want to just mention is the admiration, Ralph, and respect you have from your peers in other villages is incredible. I don't even think you know how many times I was told, you know how lucky you are to have Ralph. And when I walked into a Northwest Municipal Conference event or any event with you, I held my head high because I knew I had the best next to me in the game. And it just made me better, and it made my life easier. And again, everything you see here, I can't reiterate it enough. It's because Ralph knew how to get it done. And you did it time and time again. And I know Chuck's not here tonight. I just wanted to say, Chuck, if you're watching, you know, these are huge shoes to fill. And I'm going to tell Chuck publicly right now, don't try to fill them. If his shoes are half the size of yours, Ralph, we're going to be just fine. So thank you for everything. Love you.
Follow up on this, but I am going to say thank you. Take a few moments. I had no idea. We were supposed to have a short meeting. Typically, we have some after meeting, but tonight was just mind-blowing. And I can say that
I'm not going to look at you guys because if I look at you, I'm going to cry. And I am a crier, there's no doubt about that. So I'm going to look at you guys. You may cry too. But as we all know, life is a wonderful thing. And we're all enjoying it. And there's aspects of it. There's a personal aspect that's fulfilled with family and friends and cohorts and relationships. And I can say that I've 100% enjoyed that aspect of my life. There is no doubt. I have great family, I have great friends, I have great relationships. And that's a portion of your life. Lisa, you're killing me. But professionally, I have been so lucky. Someone's in this room that called me, right back there, Mary Jo, called me when I was off the fire department list and made me a happy person. 1975. She called me and indicated that I was to come and take my physical. Well, I had to worry about that a little bit. Am I going to be okay? Okay, fine. I got hired. Mary Jo, excuse me? What's that? Sorry. But she did, and it was great. So here I am on the fire department. 50 years ago, you know, I got involved in municipal government. 1975, I got on the fire department. Things were different then. We rode on the back of the rig. Really cool. Really cool. If you haven't done that, it's the best. You go to a fire, you see large smoke coming off in the distance. Tom knows what it feels like. Ralph knows what it feels like. It's the coolest thing in the world. You get an alarm, you get things done, you got a minute and a half to get on the rig, you got 3 minutes to get there, and you got to make decisions. That whole thing changed when you're the village administrator. Nothing's burning, nobody's dying, let's slow down, let's figure out the right things to do. So I'm really blessed of having two worlds. One that was a heck of a lot of fun when I was a firefighter. Lieutenant, district chief, great things happen along, good comrades, good employees, good staff. Thank you, Mary Jo. You certainly carried me through a lot of things in those early years, and I appreciate that. Give Mary Jo a round of applause. And the previous boards, all of the boards have been extremely good. This one especially, thank you very much. You guys are so cohesive. But all of the village boards have been very positive for the community. I can look back, attended board meetings since 1990. Terry and I were talking about it a little bit. We're going to take out the 10 years in Skokie. But probably 700 plus board meetings I've been to. That's an amazing number of board meetings to go to, and every one of them have been moving this community forward by people that are very interested in the community and filling these seats. Hopefully, in the near future, or not too distant future, you'll have some new seats with a new village hall, which you really deserve. This building, portions of it built in the 1890s, it's time to move along. But all the way back to the beginning of the community, the trustees, the mayors, the boards have done the great things for this community to establish a solid foundation, but none more than this board. So thank you very much for the latitude you've provided, the guidance, and above all, the trust that you've given to the department directors, the trust that you've given to the employees for their get-it-done attitudes. And I'm just ad-libbing here and just feeling the right thing for you. I have nothing prepared except for what I really, truly, truly feel. You have great staff. You've got great people in the right places at the right time. And are we the richest community? Absolutely not. Are we the richest community with heart and soul? We certainly are. There is no doubt. People look at Morton Grove sometimes as it's a flavor of Mayberry and it's a flavor of moving forward. And that's a great place to be. Great place to be. We are, I can tell you, thin-staffed. There is no doubt. People wear at every level of this village multiple hats. There is no doubt. We are thin-staffed but greatly staffed. So thank you very much for that. And to my family, you're going to kill me here. These guys have been great. Always supportive. Birthday parties. Oh, where's Dad? He's at a fire. Lisa's saying yes. Or he's at a meeting, or he's got to go here, or he's got to go there. I really appreciate the opportunity that you guys have given to me to fulfill my dream that I looked at in 1970s, 73, when I became an engineer technician in Niles. And when I started that job, I said, municipal government's the right place for me. I'm going to keep on moving up the ladder and see where it ends up. And I guess it ends up right here. And I'm really appreciative of that. I can remember that moment, and I can remember walking into my Village of Niles office at that time. So I've had the opportunity to work for some great communities, but none better than the Village of Morton Grove. So thank you very much. Don't count me out. I'm going to watch what's going on. There's no doubt. And I'm pretty confident I'll have some comments. And they'll all be positive, and they'll all be supportive to this great village of Morton Grove. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Ralph. Residents' comments on agenda items? Hearing none, we will be having a little reception up in the Scanlon Conference Room after this meeting. So anybody that'd like to join us for refreshments and to celebrate Ralph a little longer, please do so. And with that, I would need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made by Trustee Mink, seconded by Trustee Whitko to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 8:07.